Can be done either way, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to move on with this because this one is set, and we can, as a board, address any hiring practices from there. So we have a second on the table, Mayor, is in your hands.
Are there any further discussions? Let me just say that, you know, when I became mayor of the city, shortly thereafter, we had an emergency with the flood, and I, along with the chief, pulled together a team from City Hall and the county and residents, present residents and former residents of the city, joined together, filled sandbags, and built a wall and saved those homes. Now less than a year later, we have a health pandemic that has put over 38 million people in this country out of work.
Yes.
And here we are now. The treasurer has already told you that our budget is projected to be lower. We're not sure how much, but he threw out 18%, 15%, 21% in various incomes levels. Now we want to break the city by hiring a city manager, all because of your hatred for me.
That's
you
not
have
the motion.
Ever since I'm talking now.
Okay, that's not.
I've allowed you to talk. Now I'm going to talk.
Okay.
And here we are. People are dying all around us, and all you can think about is adding to this budget that will break this city over time, because you think that I don't have the capacity to make some decisions for this city. I want you to know that if this city go under, it'll go under because of this vote. One, you know, if it goes the wrong way. And I'm asking you board members to vote this bill down. If we can come back and visit this at another time, I'm not opposed to a city manager.
Mayor, you're out of order.
Yeah.
No, you're out of order. You are out of order.
You are out of order. This is Alderwoman West.
You are out of order.
You are completely out of order.
You are out of order.
That shouldn't be an ask.
I'm speaking now. You've spoken for the last 2 hours.
You are out of order because you do not have.
And I'm asking the board to reject this bill.
Yes, he
All
can.
in favor of.
No, he cannot.
Yes, he
Call the
can.
roll. Call the roll.
Mr. Thomas, you ain't been on the board but a hot a minute.
Call the roll.
Have you looked up Robert Cruz?
Okay.
Call the roll.
No, this is a yay and nay vote because this is for the first read. I haven't even got to the
But then all in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no.
No.
Nay.
Then call the roll.
Alderman Christian.
Yes.
Alderman Thomas.
No.
Alderman Weezy.
Yes.
Alderman Reed.
Yes.
Alderman Tapman.
No.
Alderman West.
Yes.
Alderman Dales.
No.
Alderwoman Avant-Elliott.
Yes. I'm moving on to the second read. The second read will be by title only. Ordinance establishing the compensation for performing the duties of city administrator of the city of Bellefontaine Neighbors, Missouri, establishing effective date and repealing all inconsistent ordinances.
Is there a second?
Christian, second.
This will be a roll call vote.
Okay. I'll go again. Alderman Christian.
Yes.
Alderman Thomas.
No.
Alderman Weezy.
Yes.
Alderwoman Reed,
Yes.
Alderwoman Tatman,
No.
Alderwoman West,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dales. Dale,
No.
okay. Alderwoman Avant-Elliott.
Yes.
Okay, so we got 1, 2, 5. We have 5 yes and 3 no.
Motion passes.
Okay.
And citizens take note.
Yep.
Big pardon? Oh, okay, the mayor's report, I really think this was a bad idea. And I think that it's gonna come back to haunt this city. And when it does, don't blame me. Blame yourselves for what happens in this city from this point on. Not me, you did it. Now, the next thing is paying bills online. Whoever's for that, is paying bills online. That's what's on the agenda.
That's under the mayor's report.
That's on the what?
That's under
on
the
your
mayor's
report.
report.
Well, then do we have approval to pay bills online so that we can get bills paid in a timely fashion?
Mayor, are you referring to bill pay, like using a credit card or doing a ACH or something like that? Is
Yeah,
that-
some bills that we could pay online, all of them we can't, but those that we can, we'd like to pay them online.
Is there any ordinance that suggests that we can't do that already that you're aware of?
I'm not aware of any.
Attorney White Coleman, because I haven't seen a ordinance to be able to vote with confidence on whether or not it's an issue. Attorney White Coleman, are you aware of any ordinance that will restrict online transaction ACHs? Because we don't have our finance person on here, so we don't know if it's an audit issue or anything like that. Are you
I
aware?
am not sure, but I can certainly look into that.
Okay. Mayor, do you want to wait till she's able to investigate that? Because we don't know if it's an audit issue to be able to do that or not, if there is some type of potential for theft and that's why they didn't allow it. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, I mean, we can postpone it and look at it some more.
Okay.
Allocations, additional funds for asphalt. Is Jeff still on?
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor, if you
Yes.
don't mind, if I can just bring up a point. Alderwoman Reed brought up a question about the credit card bill being late. I think we should look at if we can get our bills paid more proficiently online and on time, that we might want to visit this now instead of putting it off, and that will prevent us from incurring any more late fees. So that's just a statement I wanted to make for us to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Just a word from the mayor. Just let me share with you that for those who may not know, that the mayor sets the agenda, not the president of the Board of Aldermen. The president of the Board of Aldermen has no authority other than the authority that I give her when I'm absent or I'm incapacitated or something. And so this gang of five has has lassoed this board, and I'm taking it back from them, and they'll have a little problem with that. But I'm standing my ground on that, and they can leave whenever they get ready. But when we have these board meetings, we ought to be about the business of this city. It is not personal, and all of this personal stuff that they bring up has no business in this meeting. And we're not going to stack the meeting with a whole lot of stuff while we sitting here all night long. I'm not having that anymore. The mayor is in charge of this board, and at some point, the board president will understand that. Are there any
month, if not even longer than that. Some of our vendors, and I'm not just talking about police vendors, I'm talking about vendors that the street department uses and some of the other city departments uses, have basically suspended our credit line with them. So when we need to go to places like Lowe's, for example, if we haven't paid our bills on time, they suspend our credit. I don't know what the disconnect is. I do know that when bills are turned in, that the finance clerk does generate the checks. But beyond that, I don't know why bills aren't being paid. And eventually, as bills don't get paid, eventually we will not be able to have credit with certain places because we will be considered unreliable. See, the other issue is, it just came up today. We are in need of a backup server replacement. I do have 3 bids for that. It's about $1,100 on the cheapest bid. I will bring it up during the next meeting. IT suggests that we replace it ASAP. That backup is important. The wear on that backup has been accelerated because of the power outages we've had over the last several years. Every time we lose power, and it's usually because of the telephone pole that gets hit across the street from the station, knocks out the power to the building. Those power outages actually reduce the life of that backup system. Lastly, for now, just to mention, the street department has had 3 employees test positive. The rest are being tested, to my knowledge, and they're in need of some sort of way to clean their area and sanitize it, since they've had 3 tests positive. So
this is I'm speaking as a resident as well as an employee rather.
Mm-hmm.
And I work at the street department. This is Paul Reed.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a question for you and the board. As you all are aware that we have a situation going on within the street department, we have 2 tested positive and 1 maybe. And the rest of us has all been tested, went out and got tested, and brought our paperwork back, and we all tested negative.
Mm-hmm.
And at this time, we don't know which direction to go in because we don't know what's going on. And there's no one guiding us, in the right direction. And I'm just trying to figure out what should we do.
Okay, well, you'll be given those directions probably tomorrow. But I think what needs to happen is you guys need to wear those masks down there and practice that social distances like you've been instructed to do. And we need to sanitize the place down there.
We don't have anything to sanitize with, and we don't know how to really sanitize that facility ourselves. People is moving around. Hello?
I'm not expecting you to do it. We'll get it done.
Okay. And as far as the workers, what should we do?
You need to practice social distancing. Wear your mask, because I've been down there and I've seen you guys walking around and doing your thing without your mask on. That's what you should do.
Well, this recently just happened this week from one of the employees hanging out, you know, with some employees of Riverview. And the rest of us, we try to practice social distancing the best we can, but it's always a time where we're crossing paths with each other. And we have our masks, but we had some, you know, some of us was turned down from getting masks when we asked for them.
Well, I'm not aware of that. I mean, we got some masks there if you need them.
Yeah,
so
we had.
I don't know who turned you down for masks.
Well, we had a person go upstairs the other day and was turned down from getting masks because they said a mask was for the residents. So
okay,
I don't know.
I'll find out how that happened, because we give masks to everybody.
Yeah.
So Martha, could you? We'll probably get with you, and you can tell us about the company that sanitized the rec center and how that happened, so that we can do that.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, there was no company. We did that ourselves. Our staff sanitized everything.
Right. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think we can do the same thing down there, because we have a trained person down there who knows how to deal with that.
And Amy has purchased some really good sanitizer that is quite inexpensive and easy to use. I'm sure she'd be willing to share that resource with you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Can I make a comment?
Yeah, Amy, would you do that for us, please? We'll move to Alderwoman Elliott.
Okay, Mayor. For one, I just want to say that we have held, at least during the pandemic, maybe 2 or 3 special meetings to do over 500. So the reason for late payments has nothing to do with approval. It seems like there are some internal control issues that is causing these issues. I did want to inquire about the consultant services. It says hazmat services for Troy Jefferson. Does he have a company, or what type of experience does he have to offer those types of services to the city?
He has training in that area, just as the prior person who cleaned that up. I don't know her name now.
Jerry.
It was an accident that was paralyzed. So she was doing it. She's been trained in it. She doesn't have a company. She didn't have a company. And Troy doesn't have a company either. But it saves us money to have someone like him do it than to have a company. We interviewed a company, and we didn't have the money to pay a company.
So with his, so did his cleaning or lack of cleaning cause the individuals to have the COVID testing positive, or what? Why would they experience COVID testing and being positive for someone that's in their department that has a cleaning contract?
Well, I mean, I can't answer that, but that has nothing to do with cleaning. I mean, he's cleaning the building, and prior to him, there was no one cleaning the building. There was trash everywhere, and that problem has been solved, and so be it.
So additionally, the other concern is, at some point, the amount that he gets collectively is going to be over a certain amount that may require a bid. So do you have any contract or some type of service agreement with him, because it hasn't been board approved and brought to us, So do you have anything that will show us what his monthly schedule and cost is to know whether or not we would need to be at that per our ordinance?
Well, there is no monthly set cost. When a police car needs to be cleaned up because there's blood, vomit or something in there, or the jail, they call him and he cleans it up. So there is no regular schedule. It's when needed.
Okay, so based on that statement, if there is blood that needs to be cleaned up during the daytime when he's working in the street department, how would he be able to service the police department at that time? Because then he would be double dipping. So how can he service them at the time that he's scheduled to work? And has he been moved over to the proper department that he should be in based on the closed session?
He's in the proper department that I hired him for. And
But I'm talking about what was decided in closed session. Has that been abided to, Mayor? The decision in closed session that the majority of the board voted on, has that been complied with?
No, what was that decision? That he quit?
Well, we don't want to say it out in open, but
like that, but that's what you mean.
he was, so the process was for that person to vacate that position and apply for a position that was vacant.
Point of order, please. Point of order, please. Point of order.
Yes, what's your point of order?
My point of order is we went from making a motion to pay bills to all of these extenuating subjects. I think is out of order, that we stick with the motion first, that was to approve to pay the bills over 500, and then the applicable things that we're discussing now, if it's placed on the agenda, that's where those things ought to be discussed.
It is a part of the budget discussion to discuss individuals who are getting paid from the city. So that is, and we are in the portion of question and debate.
Okay, your point of order is well taken. Let me hear from let's see. I don't see any other hands other than
I have my hand up, Mayor.
City Attorney, your hand's up.
Yes, Mayor. To the extent matters that were discussed in closed session are coming up here, they should not. What was discussed in closed session should remain in closed session.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alderwoman Tatman.
Also, for clarification, Mr. Chair, to point of clarification, if I am correct, last year, I believe that we approved for Mr. Jefferson to do the cleaning after our person that had the accident. If I'm not mistaken, I think we voted for him to do that. Can I finish, please? Like I said, I'm doing a point of clarification, and I said, I believe, so the minute meetings can be checked because I know we discussed it. So that was my point of clarification.
Okay. Alderwoman Elliott.
Yes, we have not had any approval of him cleaning anything. And the reason why his name can be used jointly in this particular conversation is because he is a contractor. So we are not violating anything by referencing his name. Unfortunately, when that person's name also is associated with a city position, it's difficult to distinguish what that person is doing separate from their regular position. But at this point, the mayor is in violation of not putting that person in the proper hiring position. And speaking of a position is not a violation of a closed session conversation.
Alderwoman West.
Thank you, Mayor. I think we really got off point because there was a motion, excuse me, before I think there was a second. People started interjecting, so we just got way off base, and I think we need to go back to the motion, have it seconded or not, then the discussion should have taken place.
All right.
Point of information, Mayor, it has been properly second.
That's true. All right, so, and I asked for more discussion, so apparently the discussion has ended. So, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Point
I
of
would
order,
like to
Mayor.
have the motion repeated, please.
The motion is to approve the agenda, approve the over 500.
Point of order, Mayor. My motion is in the chat box for you, please.
All right, Alderwoman Reed amended the motion to approve 11 invoices in the amount of $38,172.29, removing several bills. So, all right, all in favor of the motion with the amendment?
Mayor, point of order. She didn't amend anything. Her motion is exactly as stated, and you did not state it as exactly indicated. You kind of like, you know.
Well, she wanted to pull those out, didn't she? So I'm asking for the motion to be approved with those changes. Can we move forward with a vote now? With the
Mayor,
change?
my hand is raised. May we please have the city clerk repeat the motion as it was stated? And this is Alderwoman West.
Mayor,
The motion was stated to approve the over 500, and then there was Alderwoman Reed wanted to pull the attorney's invoice, and apparently that's the case. So we want to approve the agenda with those changes.
Mayor, this is Alderwoman West again.
Yes.
My request is to have the city clerk, who takes the minutes, read the motion as it was stated by Alderwoman Reed.
Okay.
Please, thank you.
motion made by Alderwoman Reed to approve 11 invoices in the amount of $38,172.29, removing Bill 27423 for time to review.
Thank you.
And it was seconded by Alderman Carroll.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposers, same sign.
Oppose.
Who was that? Christian?
Christian.
Okay.
Nay.
Nay.
Okay.
Nay.
Okay, I guess I need.
Confused now. I don't know who said what.
Right, I don't know.
Roll call.
Give me a roll call.
Okay. Alderwoman West,
Nay.
Alderwoman Reed,
Yes.
Alderwoman Chapman,
Nay.
Alderman Carroll,
Yes.
Alderman Thomas,
Nay.
Alderman Christian,
Nay.
Alderwoman Dales,
No.
and Alderwoman Avant-Elliott.
Yes.
Okay, Mayor, you have 1, 2, 3 yes, and 5 nay.
Okay, so then those invoices will stay in. So we need a motion now to pass the invoices over 500 as they are. Is there a motion to pass the over 500?
Yes, sir.
I raised my
I
raised my hand, Mayor.
I'm sorry.
Oh, but I think Alderwoman West had hers up first.
Alderwoman Dales, let's go ahead.
Alderwoman West had hers up. I think it's down now. I make a motion to, let me get the total out.
The over 500, yeah.
I would like to make a motion to pay the bills of $48,305.29.
Is there a second? Let's see. Is there a second? I mean, if you got your hand up, just Alderwoman Tatman.
I second.
Okay. All in favor? Are there any further discussion? All in favor?
Yes, further discussion. I'm sorry. Let me raise my hand.
All right. Alderwoman Elliott, go right ahead.
Yes, we have had concerns about information we received 24 hours in advance. This was a situation that matched that. And with that in mind, I think it would be our responsibility and due diligence to review those bills effectively. That's why I voted for time to review. I was the alderperson who inquired about bills to put on the agenda to make sure that we did not have any problems. But I do know with the lateness of receipt of the over 500s, I've asked probably since Monday, and to get them so late, there is not an accurate review of all the transactions. There is not a single reason that we're not going to pay anything. It just will have to go on the next agenda, which will give everybody enough time to review those items. Right now, that review has not taken place. That's my my debate.
Anyone else? All right, then roll call vote on the motion, please.
Alderwoman Avant-Elliott,
No.
Alderwoman Dales,
Yes.
Alderman Christian,
No.
Alderman Thomas,
Yes.
Alderwoman West,
No.
Alderwoman Tatman,
Yes.
Alderwoman Reed,
No.
Alderman Carroll.
No.
3 noes, I'm sorry. 3 yes and 5 noes, Mayor.
Okay, so the motion fails. So we won't pay the bills. All right, we'll move down to
Mayor, my hand is raised.
all right, Alderwoman Elliott.
I would like to make a motion to move the approval of over 500s to the next general board meeting, giving the entire board an opportunity for complete review.
Alderwoman Reed seconds.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposers?
Nay.
Okay. Ayes have it.
I have my hand. Yeah, I have hand up.
Excuse me?
No, I'm sorry. I had my hand up, but that's okay. That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah. So the payment of bills will be on the next on the agenda next week.
Alderwoman Tatman, your hand is still raised.
I know.
All right, Alderwoman Tatman. Okay.
Just again, point of clarification. So we're waiting another week to pay the bills, which are already late. I just want a point of clarification. That's all.
Well, who you directing that to?
You idiot.
I'm sorry. That was
Who that said?
Point of order, Mayor.
point of order, please.
Mayor,
Yes.
there's people making derogatory comments. Can we have everybody muted?
Who is that called me an idiot?
I don't know, but
I think that was the Alderwoman from Jennings.
Alderwoman from Jennings.
okay. Yeah, I just wanted point of clarification. That's all.
All righty. The only thing we can do is just not pay them until after next week. The board has already voted not to pay them, not to approve them. So we'll pay them whenever they approve them. All righty. Accounts payable investigation. I don't know what that is. Now, who put it on there? So it's on the agenda. So we'll move down to budget amendment.
Mayor, I got my hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. All right, yeah, Alderman Carroll.
I move that the Board of Aldermen form a committee of 4 alderpersons to investigate accounts payable, and at the next BOA meeting, August 20th, make nominations and appointments to this committee.
Alderwoman Elliott.
I was just, had my hand raised to clarify what that accounts payable investigation is. On the meeting that continued after the quorum was not there, the chief indicated that there was credit being lost, but no information had been provided to the board prior to that. Do you have any information on how many creditors, Mayor, that we have lost credit with based on the statement that chief indicated?
No, I don't. Chief, do you have any further information on that? Chief?
No, sir, at this time I do not. I know it was discussed, was it earlier this week or last week? It was up to 6 creditors that the street department and I identified. But right here at this time, I couldn't tell you. But I know there are still a few outstanding.
So, Mayor, could you explain how that happens? How do we lose credit?
Mayor,
I was still asking.
Point of order. I think this is better left for debate. I've already made a motion. Either
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I apologize. I second.
So restate your motion, please.
Okay, I move that the Board of Alderpersons form a committee of 4 alderpersons to investigate accounts payable, and at the next Board of Alderpersons meeting, August 20th, make nominations and appointments to this committee.
Is there a second?
Christian will second. Alderwoman Avant-Elliott seconded.
Okay. Are there any further discussion? I see Alderwoman Elliott's hand up.
Oh, I was in the middle of clarifying the information about the reasons why we have come to this point. Was there any prior information sent to your office as a warning saying that this would be coming and some type of intervention could happen? I'm just trying to get clarification on how did it come to this point. And we have the same clerk and processes as we've had with the previous administration. We have been approving and having special board meetings to have over 500s. This was just a request of mine for the agenda when it was going to be on the next one. So it's nothing past due. It was just to be proactive. But did you ever receive notifications from creditors saying as a warning that this was about to happen?
I did not, but I did talk to Laurie. Laurie is afraid to pay those bills without board approval because she fears you all will come down on her. And so she's not going to pay them until the board approves them.
I mean, that's the proper process, but as far as them being late, why would they be late if we are having special meetings to pay them? We have the 2 regular meetings. So essentially in a month, we might meet 3 times to pay over 500s. Is there any notification that has come to the city saying as a warning that this is about to happen before we actually lost credit is what my inquiry?
Not that I'm aware of. All right, we have where are we at with the motion?
We're on debate, Mayor.
Okay, debate's ended. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposers, nay. All right, ayes have it.
Oh.
Zoom Web, no package purchase.
On the order, Mayor, there is item C on the agenda that's been skipped.
Oh, I'm sorry. Budget amendment, city administrator salary.
Miranda,
Alderwoman Elliott.
This was placed on the agenda because we have learned that it would be best to readjust our decision around the bond funds. And so I wanted to entertain a discussion. So I would ask for permission to go into informal discussion about the budget amendments. Is that the proper? I would like to make a motion to go into informal discussion about the budget amendments.
Alderwoman West, I second.
Alderman Carroll.
I second her motion.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Nay.
Okay. Ayes have it. So proceed.
Okay, so Chief is on the line. Last year, the board had approved for a position in the police department to remain vacant. And when we were doing budget discussions this time again, it was stated that that position was filled because of, the information not getting to him. He didn't know it. Maybe Chief can better explain. But I wanted to ask you, Chair, whether or not that position is a position that qualifies as the one that should have been vacant from the previous budget year.
Chief, can you answer that?
Yes, sir, I can. So for the 2019-2020 budget year, the board elected to forego the filling of 2 vacancies that were already vacant at the time that the budget was approved. Those 2 vacancies were never filled. The recent resignation of the officer the other week is already a position that was budgeted last year and also this year. So that position was not one of those 2 positions. Those 2 positions that weren't budgeted are still vacant at this time, and one of those positions is an administrator, and the other one is a detective/public relations officer, 2 of which I don't have right now.
Thank you for the clarification.
Alderman
Okay.
Christian. Just a
I'm
moment.
sorry.
Alderman Christian.
Just another way if people are wanting to know about money and things, and just to have another way of figuring out how to pay for this. One thing we can do to get us to $115,900 as a salary, not as a base, but that as available, we could readjust the job description and include in the city administrator's pay the title of treasurer and city clerk. And we could get rid of having 20,000 from the or 30,000 from the capital and 20,000 from the sewer fund. And or 20,000 from the street bond fund, I mean. The 20,000 from sewer could stay because that person would be the administrator of the sewer fund. So that's allowed to be in there. And if you did that, we could have $115,900 just by changing the titles of the, or adding into the descriptions of the city administrator 2 additional titles, which they would become responsible for, and that pay is already there. Since we're talking about the pay, that's another way to pay for it all. I'm finished, thank you.
Okay.
Alderman Elliott.
Yes, I wanted to ask, can I engage Alderman Christian in clarification around whether or not the city clerk and treasurer positions would have to be eliminated in order to satisfy that particular proposal?
Alderman Christian.
the positions wouldn't be eliminated. They would be incorporated into the city administrator position. There would still be a city clerk, but the city administrator would take on the role as city clerk. The city administrator would also take on the role as the city treasurer. Those are both appointed positions that could be rolled into a city administrator's job. That's just another way of looking at ways to find the money for it. That's all I was looking at and thinking of.
No, I was just asking, would our current appointees have to be terminated in order for that to happen? That's what I was trying to get clarified.
Yes, those positions would be rolled into the city administrator's job positions, yes. And the city administrator would be responsible for it.
Thank you for the clarification. Thank you, Mayor.
Madam Clerk, where are we on a motion and a vote?
Well, we have the motion from Avant-Elliott and second by Carol, but we didn't get the vote.
Okay, so when you say you didn't get the vote,
We didn't present for a vote.
Mayor,
so
Mayor,
yeah.
that motion that Alderwoman Avant-Elliott made was to just informally discuss this issue. It wasn't to decide anything.
Okay, so just an informal.
We're just informally discussing it. Nothing's before the board or anything. We're just having a discussion about the budget amendments.
Okay. So, all right, let's move to the next item. Communication, community outreach, back to school drive-through.
Point of order, Mayor, number D, under budget A.
I'm sorry, Zoom webinar package purchase. Oh, let me see here. Alderman Elliott.
Okay, this was put on per the recommendation of the parliamentarian for us to have a webinar package in order to effectively facilitate our board meetings. The suggestion would be that we do webinar is live, and then how we proceed on individual reports or comments would be based on a discussion of the board. But the Zoom webinar will allow us to be live on YouTube. And so at this time, I wanted to make a motion for us to purchase that package, and I believe it's additional $40 a month. And if it's not that amount, I believe that it is no more than $50. So I would like to make a motion to approve the addition of the webinar package with Zoom. Let me put it in the motion for you. I move that the board purchase the additional Zoom package to include a webinar.
Alderman Carroll.
I second.
Moved and properly second. Are there any further discussion? Alderwoman Elliott.
No, I don't have any discussion. I apologize. I'm lowering my hand.
Alderman Thomas.
Yes. Mayor, could you ask the city clerk if she looked into the specific costs, since we don't know, and also what the difference from what we're doing now would be for her to for the downloading or anything else that might have to happen?
Okay, no, I didn't look into that. I can, but I did not. I wasn't sure what this was about on here until she just said it.
Okay, that's fine.
Alderwoman Dales.
That's all I have.
Alderwoman Dales, you got to unmute yourself.
I apologize.
Okay.
Before we take a vote on it, I would like to know the total cost, if we need to bid it out. So I would like to know the total cost in addition to what we're paying now. Is that available?
Alderwoman Elliott?
I just went to Zoom and I copied ads video webinars for $40 a month. It's currently $14.99 a month. So this is a feature that we're adding to a purchase that has already been made.
Okay, Alderman Carroll? Alderwoman, okay, so I see no hands up now.
I did have one other question.
Okay.
Can we get a better clarification, Mayor, from someone concerning actually what this webinar will be, how it will provide, what it will provide for the citizens and what it will provide for us as a Board of Alderpeople?
Alderwoman Elliott, can you address that?
Yes. If a question can be directed to Alderman Thomas on whether or not he was able to review the parliamentarian video and the documents that he sent related to Zoom. Chair, could you direct that question to him for clarification? That'll assist with his inquiry.
Alderman Thomas, did you hear that response?
Yes, I did. No, I have not been able to. I have not been able to review that.
Okay, so
And
the document.
It would help if you could just give me the information, please.
Okay, but it's there as well. So I needed to get clarification first. So the Zoom package is the parliamentarian provided us specific information and directions during their training, if it's been reviewed, that suggested some structure to our board meetings that would allow us to conduct business with no disruptions, have a process where the citizens can review, and we'd be able to conduct pretty much business without a lot of interruptions. So the setup will be live on a YouTube, Facebook, it wouldn't matter. And then there's an invite process that happens when people want to do reports, that we invite them into the room. If you want to see an example of how that works, St. Louis Public School Districts, when they were doing Zoom, will be a good example of how that works. So if you watch it, it's on YouTube. If you're able to look at the Riverview Fire District Town Hall meeting when they talked about Prop I, that will be an example of how Zoom can be used, where they were live on YouTube, where people can watch it live, whether they dial in or not, and then we can conduct business without interruptions because we can manage that process along the way. Right now, the parliamentarian said that we are positioning ourselves to be Zoom bomb, where somebody can come in and post inappropriate content to our Zoom because we are sharing the actual link to the public. So if you do it live, that streamlines the process where you don't get Zoom bomb and have someone to come in and with inappropriate content and be able to, I guess it kind of will be similar to somebody doing a virus and coming in and being able to mess up some stuff. So that's the short of it. But if you look at the video and listen to the training, or look at the attachment, the Zoom attachment that he provided us with the proper decorum, then that'll explain to you even further. Is there any additional question, Mayor?
Alderman Thomas, did you have?
Yes. So how does this affect our citizen participation?
It doesn't affect it. They just won't be in the same format as it currently is. We have to invite them in for public comment while they're watching the meeting. So if we were in the public, in a regular board meeting where the people are sitting there watching the meeting, then they only come up to the podium when it's time for a public comment. It will be the same type of format. But we won't run the risk of being Zoom bomb and have someone to come in and something inappropriate happens, or anything can happen. So like when people are not being muted and all that, that's a distraction to our board meeting. We'll be able to control those things as well.
Okay, thank you.
Alderwoman,
I have my hand up.
I'm finna call you. Alderwoman Dales.
Okay. I think this is a horrible idea. Anytime that we have to get webinar to get on YouTube, Facebook, but our citizens who we serve don't have a voice. And we have an IT company that can also answer those questions instead of just one person's opinion about us being photobombed or whatever. I see now that some of us are prepared to be on TV. So I think it's unfair to the board that we want to do something that's going to take away the power from the citizens who we represent, but we can put it out all across the world for everybody else to see. That is unfair. And we are a grassroots community. We're not here to put our information out all over the world for certain people to be put out there like that. If we can't serve the people that we in our wards, if they don't have a chance to speak, if they don't have a chance to chat, but we want to put it out for the whole world, then shame on us. Because we're a grassroots community with 10,000 or more. We're not like the St. Louis Public School District that may serve 50,000 people. We're here serving the citizens of Bellefontaine neighbors, and they should never be without a voice, without a way to speak. And those who want to do that, maybe they need to go run for a bigger office and get, put out somewhere else. But the people here in Ward 4 are very upset. They are very upset that they didn't know about the meeting yesterday, that certain people don't want them to talk. And this is unfortunate that we represent, they allowed us to sit in these seats. They pay us a stipend and we want to shut them down, but we want to show it to the world. And this is my opinion, and I vote no on this. We need to keep it here in our community for our citizens and take care of them, their daily needs, instead of all the other stuff that's being brought up. And that's my opinion, and it's going to stay my opinion.
Alderwoman West.
Thank you, Mayor. This is by no means taking away the voice of the citizens. It would prevent things like someone saying, "You stupid," meaning the mayor. It would take that away. If we want to do things correctly, and the parliamentarian gave us ways to do that, and we are struggling right now trying to get things in order. We have residents who want to speak for 20 minutes, and they are allowed to do that. This is bringing structure, not taking away their voice. By all means, we want to hear from the residents that we serve. So this is just a means of giving them their way to speak and giving the board a way to conduct business without unnecessary insults, because that's what they are. They use the chat room to insult the board. And, it's been said we're supposed to take it. Well, I'm not going to take it. I'm a human being. I do the best that I can for the city, not for Ward 1, but for the entire city. And we don't want to take away their voice, but we need to be able to control what is said. Thank you very much.
Alderman Christian.
Thank you. My only thing is, if we can get out to more people and everything, why wouldn't we want more people to see what's going on in our city? Whether we're doing it right or wrong, the more people that see it, the better. The more you make it available to everyone, the better. The more availability to everything we have, the better. So I would be in favor of this.
Seeing no other hands up, City Clerk, would you state the motion and
Okay, let me go to the motion.
Mayor, as a point of order, please, may I speak?
go ahead.
We have constantly asked individuals not to disrupt the chat area so we can follow our parliamentarian procedures. So you could have been able to see my motion that I typed in. We have individuals from last night to this night that continues to make responses in that chat room. And as the chair, I'm asking that you would be the one to direct them to cease the communication in the chat so we can conduct business.
We have a motion on the floor by Alderman Carroll to form a committee of 4 alderpersons to investigate accounts payable, and that
Point of order is my motion, but like I said, it's been hijacked by the individuals who posted underneath there. So let me go to my motion and try to repaste it.
My hand is up.
okay. Go ahead and speak, my dear.
Mayor, the chat that's in the room, I hope that we continue to reserve the rights of the citizens that we serve.
Mayor, I'm sorry, point of order. I thought you were calling for the motion for us to vote. We don't want to go back to talk. I'm sorry, to keep talking.
Point of order, we're waiting for her to type it.
It's already there, Mayor, please.
No,
But Mayor, I ask that you not take away the citizens' rights.
I'm waiting on Alderwoman Elliott was typing the motion in, and she asked to speak.
It was already there, Mayor.
What it was, I thought it was already there, but
Yeah, that's why I was saying that people were interjecting, and I was asking you, could you ask them to refrain from doing that, because we have decided we will use the chat for conducting business.
Well, what do you want to do with this motion? Is what I want to know now, because I'm tired of.
I put it in there for you to reread it, sir.
Well, okay. Says I motion that the board purchase the additional Zoom package to include the webinar feature. And
That's correct.
That's it, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
It's written twice. So, okay then. Is there a second?
We've already seconded this, Mayor. We've already, excuse me, point of order. We've already seconded this. We're getting ready to vote on this, Mayor.
All right, let's vote. All in favor say, on the roll.
Alderwoman West,
Yes.
Alderwoman Tapman, Alderwoman Reed,
Yes.
Alderman Carroll,
Yes.
Alderman Thomas,
No.
Alderman Christian,
Yes.
Alderwoman Dales,
Absolutely no.
Alderwoman Avant-Elliott,
Yes.
and Alderwoman Tapman, are you there? Oh, she texted me. She left at 7:44. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yes, 3 no.
All right, community outreach, back to school drive-through. Alderwoman Elliott.
Mayor,
Point of order, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So Alderwoman Tapman was not here. So the vote should not be 5-3. She was not here to vote.
Okay, you're right. It's 5-2.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Okay, Mayor. At a previous board meeting, I mentioned that I would like to bring before the board an opportunity to coordinate a back-to-school drive-through event. And so I placed this on the agenda for to vote for us to do that and for me to explain more about it. But I would like to do the motion, and then we can proceed with the discussion.
Well, who's doing them?
I move to move that the board accepts I move that the board allow for me to chair a back-to-school drive-through with the police department and the fire district and youth commission boards.
Okay.
Alderwoman West, I second.
Okay. Further discussion, Alderwoman Dales.
I apologize. I did not mean to have my hand up. Sorry.
Any other discussion? Then all in favor say aye.
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 Opposers nay. Ayes have it. Approval of mask distribution. Alderwoman Elliott.
Yes, sir. When we finally understood about the policy that was adopted last year concerning donations, we learned that those donations after the event that they are designated for, the board has to approve how they're allocated. I did send an email to you thinking that you had that authority to do that, so I asked about a process. But once I read it, I learned that that was the board responsibility. In the report that was given by the rec center staff, I did speak with them as a courtesy to ask if they would be willing to facilitate the distribution of those masks. And I wanted to make a motion on that tonight so that those resources can be available to the city, the citizens, and for us to include those items for distribution to internally to departments that need it. So I would like to make a motion that the rec center staff facilitate the plan and distribution of the masks donated to the City of Bellefontaine neighbors from St. Louis County, the St. Louis County, was it St. Louis County Health Department? Hold on, let me.
Alderwoman West, I second.
Man, my hand is right. Oh, shoot.
Okay, wait just a minute.
Okay.
Elliott, are you finished?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna put in the motion. If you want to start with the debate, I'm gonna put in the motion in the chat.
Okay. That's seconded by Alderwoman West. Alderwoman Dales, you have comment?
I don't think the masks that are in the that are left, that are in the boardroom, were donated from St. Louis County. I think they were given to Dinah as a courtesy from one of her, someone that she knows, to give out to the citizens of Bellefontaine neighbors, which has already been done in wards 1, 2, and in the process for Ward 3. But I don't think those masks were donated by St. Louis County.
All right. Any other comments?
Yes, Mayor. I did want to speak to that statement. She said, Alderwoman Dale said she thinks, based on a post that I made that Alderwoman Chapman responded to. She indicated that she received the donations from County Councilwoman Rochelle Gray, which we did not know, who works for the St. Louis County. So there was no indication of a special organization that provided those resources. And she indicated that resources were specifically for COVID testing. And when that testing ended, based on our policy, it was the board's responsibility to determine how they would be distributed. And the process of distribution was not brought before the board. And two older people facilitated that process on their own. And on social media, all the older persons' emails were posted, and it was stated that if citizens needed masks, that the board members can be contacted, and that was never vetted with the board, and the board was not even aware of that post. And it prompted a lot of dialogue, and that's why we're at this point of determining how to properly facilitate the distribution of those items. So in communication with the rec center staff, since they will facilitate, I would like to add that as a city manager, that you also ensure that city staff have those resources if we do not properly have them available. So it's not just for the citizens that I originally was going to motion for it to be.
No, we already, no, what you say, no staff member has been denied masks that I'm aware of.
That was a statement at the last board meeting that yes. Mm-hmm.
And but if that happened, then I don't want that to happen again.
Yes, sir.
If you have masks, and someone come and ask for one, they should be able to get it. But I don't think we ought to complicate everything. I mean, just give the mask out. Why we got to go to the board and have all these long discussions about giving away masks and where they came from? I'm not aware of anything COVID related coming from the county. We've gotten stuff from private sources, but I don't know anything about the county. I was on a Zoom call with the mayors today, and that was one of the topics of discussion. The county has not moved on this COVID money on helping us with masks. Even the guy came out about the testing. They're doing the testing now. So you need a motion to give the mask out. Is that what you're saying? That the board has to approve everything?
Yes, sir.
Giving away masks. Is that what you're saying?
Based on our policies, yes, sir.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay.
We do have some people's hands up, Mayor, during the discussion. Get some hands that's up.
I can't see the hands up and read the statement at the same time. The statement covers the hands up. Alderwoman Reed.
Thank you, Mayor. I actually called St. Louis County Health Department when we received those masks, because I wanted to make sure there was not going to be a financial cost to the city of Bellefontaine neighbors for them. And I do not have the young lady's name. It's in my other office. And but she did say they were donated because we were handling COVID testing, and that was donated to the city of Bellefontaine neighbors. I asked, well, will we have to pay you back? What if we have residual? She said that is for your city because you're doing the COVID testing. So it was nothing special for one older person. It was because of the testing that was happening at Bellefontaine Neighbors Rec Center parking lot. So, and I think it is best that we do go through this process, that we collectively as a board decide. That was the reason for the ordinance, that we decide how donations are handled. If only one or two older people of one or two wards know about these masks, and when I had citizens calling me, how do I get the masks? I'm like, I don't know anything about any masks. You know, where are they? I couldn't give them out. So this way, there's a central location for people to go to and to get the masks, you know.
Thank you. Alderman Thomas.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The when